was a time when Prem Das tended the digital garden of Buddhagang, watching over the flow of teachings and guiding friends as they stumbled toward the light. And among those gathered was little Prem, earnest and sharp-eyed, who loved the Dharma deeply, not with passive admiration, but with a fierce and tender care. He asked questions. He looked closely. He wanted to understand not just the bliss of meditation, but the marrow of the Buddha's path. Ethics, cause and result, the gritty work of lessening suffering in this world. But the friends around him had grown proud. They sat in circles, nodding to one another. They spoke in gentle tones about just being and letting go, and how nothing really matters. They smiled when suffering was mentioned, as though the whole world were merely a bad dream to wake from. They called this wisdom, but little Prem saw something else: neglect, the kind that leaves wounds to fester. He raised his voice, softly at first, then louder. The Buddha taught ethics. He taught cause and result. We cannot bypass suffering. We must meet it, understand it, act to relieve it. But his words were like a stone cast into a still pond. The ripples disturbed their reflections. They furrowed their brows. Some sighed. A few whispered, "He thinks too much." Finally, his elder brother, Great Prem, took him aside. "Little Prem, you are not ready. You strive, but you cling to thoughts and ethics. Here, we have passed beyond such things. You must learn to let it all go." And little Prem's heart cracked. He had come seeking the Dharma, but now he was told his care was a burden, his discernment a flaw. He was exiled, not with anger, but with that soft, smug dismissal which is its own kind of cruelty. So, early the next morning, he prepared to leave. If even here, among those who claim to follow the Buddha, there is no room for ethics, what hope is there? I will go back to the world. I will try to do good in my small way. But Prem Das, who watched not only the words but the hearts of the friends, saw this. And as little Prem stepped toward the gates of the group, he was met there. "Where are you going, little Prem?" "My elder brother cast me out. He said my concern with ethics, my thinking, it is a hindrance, so I am leaving." "Little Prem, did you not first take refuge with me? When your brother turned you away, why did you not come? Would you abandon the path because others misunderstand it? Stay with me." And he led little Prem to his own place and gave him a task, not one to silence his mind, but to sharpen it. Take this text each day. Reflect on the Buddha's teaching on cause and result. Write the removal of harm, the removal of harm. Rub it into your heart like cloth against cloth. Do this and see. And Prem Das returned to the gathering while little Prem sat down. He wrote the words again and again. At first it felt foolish. The letters blurred, his fingers ached. But then he saw how the clean page became marked, how each stroke left a trace. And he remembered, actions have results. Harm does not vanish when ignored. Love is not a feeling, it is work. His mind opened. He saw that the stains of the page were not separate from his heart. He saw how the pride of the friends had blinded them, how their so-called peace was built on avoiding the world's pain. And Prem Das appeared to him, not merely on the screen but from within his heart, and said, "Little Prem, do not grieve over these stains. The world is full of them, anger, delusion, and harm. Your task is not to deny them. Your task is to see, to know, to act. Remove harm, little Prem. Remove harm." And in that moment, little Prem's heart caught fire. He saw what had always been there, the path of the Bodhisattva, the long road where love and wisdom walk hand in hand, and he posted. From that day, he multiplied himself, commenting, questioning, correcting. Some wrote of love without action, and he added, "and ethics." Others spoke of stillness, and he whispered, "and responsibility." The group stirred. Friends began to listen. The elder brother returned, puzzled. "I see the group is full of life. Who is tending it?" "Little Prem," they said. "But I cast him out." "You cast out one. He returned as 1,000. And it was said of him, little Prem, multiplying himself 1,000-fold, sate in the vast Buddhagang till all were moved. Prem Das called for him. But when the messenger arrived, each voice rose. "I am little Prem." So Prem Das smiled and said, "Take the hand of the first who claims the name. The rest will fade." And when little Prem stood before him, Prem Das said, "Let him offer the blessing." And little Prem, with a voice like a lion and the heart of a friend, spoke, not of escape, but of the work to be done. And the friends marveled. In mere months, the one we called slow has surpassed us. He who thought and cared through Prem Das's wisdom has shown us the way. Ah, How great is the power of the Buddhas! And Prem Das, seeing all this, rose from his seat, wrapped in the robes of love and understanding, and stepped into the endless world. And he shone like the dawn over the tangled hearts of beings, illuminating the path where thought, care, and action become one.